Okay, for this video, we will present our project, which is light primary color intensity filtering. I'm, pa I'm Patrick Renz Samia and my partner is Roy Robert Cañada. So, before we start, we want you to give a little brief of what an image is. Most people think that an image is just a single frame and with just colors with that single frame. But an actual image consists of three frames to actually create one image. So for we have three frames. So each frame has different colors, mainly RGB. First first frame will be the red frame, second frame will be the green, third will be the blue. So in our project, to even um, to show to you what our project can do, I suggest we should make our own image for a while. So here, I'm going to choose a color red. As you can see, there's no value of green or blue in it. It's the maximum 255. You cannot go above 255. If you try to go 300, it would stay at 255 since it's an 8-bit color. So we will use a solid red. So and second, I would use a solid green, so not a value of red or blue present. So again, now I want let's say a color blue. As you can see, no red or green are present. Now we make a mixture. Let's say a value of 200, a value of 120, and a value of let's say 50. Let's put mixture. So save the image. I would recommend saving it as a BMP since it's more high quality compared to other file formats of an image. But you can use also JPEG on Octave. JPEG is more common. We'll just minimize the. So let's say, oops, say RGB sample 2. Now, as you can see, I have three scripts. Each has different filters. So this is for this grid is the red filter, green filter, and the blue filter. As you could probably see, you may see that nothing changes as I go through the codes, but there is specific there's one specific line where it changes the filtering from red to green or to blue. For for now, I'm going to demo the on how this code filters the red on the figure. So you can expect that this red would light up and then this other one would not. But for this project, for example, if I want the red filter, I would it would it would not it would filter other colors. So aside from red, other colors will be filtered. So let's run it. As you can see, the octave will take long for the image to show up since it's filtering. So while it's filtering, I'll explain the code. So basically, if what we're trying to do is that if we want the red color to stay and others be a different color, we would we would turn all the other colors into a grayscale image. So for example, if there's a red in a specific image, it would stay, and then the rest would be grayscale. So as you can see, there's a grayscale equation. If you do the math, point 0.3, 0.59, and 0.11 is equals to 1. So why is it equal? Why is this equation like this? So the explanation behind the grayscale image is that, for example, if I go to paint and then if I choose a value of, let's say, 200 on red, 200 on green, and let's say 200 on blue, you would get a gray image. So if the three components of RGB are equal, they will turn into grayscale. So for example, for this script, we want a red filter. So the condition would be if that this certain value is the certain value of redness must be above 80 for it to be considered red and for it to get not filtered. So as you can see here in this figure, the value of this red is 255, which is above 80, and it didn't get it didn't get grayscale. So the others would be grayscale. Now let's try green filter. As you can see, I just changed the sign of this sign, greater than or less than. So I assign the other colors as so for my desired color, I would want it to be greater than the desired value, and for the rest, it should be less than. All those less than values would be converted into grayscale, and if, for example, if a certain color such as green, for example, this filter green, it didn't reach the 80 value, it will also turn into grayscale. So not all greens will be filtered. So let's say a weaker green will be grayscale. A green that didn't reach a value of above 80 will be grayscale. For so to demo the green filter, we are running the same example, the image that we just created a while ago. The results could take too long, like a minute. So what we did um from our previous project, we did, which is almost quite the same, but this would be better in my opinion. So as you can see, green would be not filtered, and the rest will be turned into grayscale. And with the blue value should be above 100 value. The rest will be below of the desired value, so that this would all be converted into grayscale. And if the certain value of blue didn't go above 100, it would also turn into grayscale since it didn't met the specified threshold for our project. So mhm. Now we run it, we're still using the same example. Okay. What we did from our previous activities, that we extract each frames. We didn't really filtered it, we just extracted it. So if I have this image, the three frames that we extracted would look like this, and this. So that's the red, green, and blue frame. What we're doing here is quite more better. So since we're just filtering a color, and others would turn into grayscale. If the certain color didn't match your threshold value, it would also be converted into grayscale. So that's the code. This is the grayscale equation, and this is the well, it's like the filter. It's like a condition. If you wanted red, should be above the threshold. If you want green, just do the same. Others, you just pick one color, and then you make sure that the other two colors would be less than their threshold for them to be converted into grayscale. So for here, we just assign you can two values. You can name them whatever you want, since these other two frames would just be converted into grayscale. So this is what grayscale, and then the picture of the grayscale will be. Now, from our example, it may seem like our project is not that it's not that impressive. So why don't we why don't we try to use other images? For example, I want to use this image. Now, as you can see, this beautiful car. It's red. Let's say I want to filter this car. I want to use the red filter. What would basically would happen is that all the other colors will turn into grayscale except for the red. And you can see the reflection of the car over here lessens the redness, lessens the value of redness in this specific part. Also this, and this part. So we will expect to see a bit of grayscale in this part of the car. So to see how beautiful our project works in actual image, we will choose this as an example for them. So, the file name for this is Ferrari.jpg. So I'll go back here, and I'll go to red filter, and I'll change this sort the directory from Ferrari. This command allows the Octave to read the image. So just as I said before, you could use other file formats such as BMP, the one that we used earlier, which is I highly recommend, and JPEG. So for this, we would filter out the red and turn anything else to gray. So we will see the results later. For now, we will run it. Now, the picture will take quite long for it to come out. So it's because that Octave would be filtering image with this dimension. The higher the resolution of the image, the longer oct for Octave to filter the red. So if we imagine we just use not the resolution of this pic is not that high, but it's already taking quite long. If you use higher image quality or higher image resolution, expect to wait for a greater number of time. This from our previous activity, the one that we did is just extract. It just took us a few seconds since it wasn't really filtering, it was just extracting the frames that we wanted. I think it's already done. See? As you can see, the as I everything else turned gray except for red the red car. So as I said before, we should expect a bit of gray in this area, since again the reflection, it lessens the redness, the value of the redness at this part of the car, this part, and that part. That's why we did see a bit of gray, but so far it looks amazing. That looks good that you can filter out um, red colors in an image. So this is what this is what would it look like if you filter a red image. So for you to filter a red image, you should have the redness in that image that you want to filter should have a good value of redness. So if it has a poor value of redness, expect for it to expect it to be in grayscale. So we highly recommend that if you're going to use this filter, make sure that the redness is quite good. The value of redness is quite good. So that is all. Thank you for listening and hope you guys enjoy.